Well, that was a lot of music. And what I've kind of learned is that now that I basically have 3 versions of Let It Be, like I've got Let It Be 2021, Get Back, and Let It Be Naked. It's interesting because these albums all basically have a different purpose. The whole original idea of Get Back was for the album to basically sound like an unpolished recording session. It's not going to be like Sgt. Pepper, where it's like this fully polished, amazing like art record, and it's not going to be like Please Please Me, you know. It's the Beatles inviting you to a recording session, and you're going to hear the studio chatter, you're going to hear the whole process behind it. And that's what Glyn Johns' mix of Get Back really is, you know. It's got the studio chatter, it's got a basic mix of what it's really sounded like when they were recording. So it is interesting that they did add an orchestra to many of the tracks, and all this like effects and wall of sound, because that really takes away from the whole purpose of what Get Back is supposed to be. It takes away from the authenticity of the recording session. So I can understand why Paul and many fans were like, well, this isn't what it's supposed to be. And I'm no longer surprised that Let It Be Naked is a thing. However, whilst Let It Be is one extreme, Let It Be Naked is the other extreme, because it is fully stripped, but it doesn't have the studio banter, it doesn't have the chatter, it's not a recording session, it is a straight up album at this point. So Get Back really is the middle ground between added orchestra on top of recording session and clean, stripped album. You know, it really is just, I suppose, this whole Beatles project at its purest, I'd say. And it's really good. It's really good that we have this now, that we can hear basically what it was supposed to be. But yeah, overall, I'm not very familiar with Let It Be because I've always listened to Let It Be Naked. So this was my first time properly like listening to the album that's been the album for 50 years, you know. And I can definitely agree that this track sequencing isn't it. Like, I'm not surprised by it. Like, I knew the track sequencing was different to Let It Be Naked. However, to me, it just doesn't make sense for Get Back to be the closer when clearly it's supposed to be at the front. Like, that's one thing I think Let It Be Naked really excelled at, was the track sequencing. Get Back is a song that gets you like hyped, you know. It's like it's raring to go. It's like it really is a great start to the album. It gets you going, and then Let It Be is such a beautiful song to close. You know, it's time to come down and be like, let it be, and say goodbye essentially. Whereas here it just doesn't make any sense. However, I will say, you know, this mix is so much better than the 2009 remasters. My thoughts about all the mixes and all the tracks and everything are purely just from my vinyl listening, meaning I've not listened to the mix or anything in headphones, which I understand might be a different sound experience. So if you feel like I haven't commented much about a lot of the sonic differences, like the really like detailed sonic differences, is purely because I've not listened to them in headphones, and this is purely just based on a vinyl perspective. So yeah. I'm not too familiar with the 2009 remasters, just before I say anything. However, when I was comparing the title track Let It Be 2021 with Let It Be 2009, you could definitely tell that it's a lot clearer. The sound feels fuller and richer. They've done a really good job on this mix. I remember I had a few issues on the Abbey Road 2019 mix because I was so used to the 2009 remasters, but I really like what they've done here. My favourite tracks on Let It Be are Across the Universe, even though I personally prefer other versions of Across the Universe where the pitch is the natural pitch at which the song was recorded. The lower pitch on here sounds nice, and the orchestra makes it a very like Disney-like kind of song, and I think it sounds really, really pretty. I love the lyrics. It's probably one of my favourite songs lyrically that the Beatles and just John Lennon on his own have ever done. I also like the version of I Me Mine on here. I think the orchestra really adds to this song. It kind of adds to like the dramatics of it, and the fact that they extended it by repeating another verse. I think that was a good decision. And the Long and Winding Road, I do like the orchestral version of it. I think it's a very nice song. However, I think the song works both ways. It works in its normal stripped version and the orchestral version. But yeah, the sessions, I won't lie, I found a bit underwhelming compared to the sessions on Abbey Road. On Abbey Road, I feel like they were a bit more experimental with their sessions. However, they had a lot more time to make Abbey Road. They didn't have a lot of time making Let It Be / Get Back. So that's not surprising. I did really like, however, I loved hearing the conversation during the something rehearsal where they're trying to decide what words should go after Attracts Me Like.
Just say whatever comes in your head each time. Attracts me like a cauliflower until you get the word. Attracts me like a pomegranate.
I loved hearing Billy Preston sing on Without a Song. Just hearing his voice was like a really nice delight and really refreshing after hearing like hours of just the Beatles, so it was nice to hear Billy. I liked hearing All Things Must Pass, seeing what the Beatle take of it would have been. You could tell George was a bit annoyed as the dialogue before that, he's just like...
If there's people joining in, you know, I'd appreciate it too.
But once they did join in, it sounded really, really nice.
All things must pass away.
Also, I really liked the little tiny piano rendition of Please Please Me. I thought that was... I would love to hear the song like that in full. I think it was really interesting. I thought Paul's voice sounded really nice. And I think it works. It's like a piano tune. The Octopus Garden rehearsal where George is like to then go, oh, you've learnt A minor. It's really nice to see the band members supporting each other. It was also interesting to hear Give Me Some Truth. I didn't realise that was going to be on here. So really nice to hear an early take of that. But yeah, overall, not as interesting or as fun as the Abbey Road session tracks. However, you know, again, hearing this whole process of Get Back and Let It Be is just a delight and a privilege, so yeah. Also, I think I can say for everyone that we were all looking forward to hearing the unreleased version of Get Back. Songs I really liked from this version of what the album would have been. My favourite is Teddy Boy. I find the version on McCartney okay, but this version is just so much better. Like, I loved hearing it. Like this, it's just so much more interesting. Like there's like a really fast strumming guitar part that I thought just really added to the song. The vocals sound great, but it was just so cool. I also love the version of I've Got a Feeling on here because it's very similar, if it's not the same one, but it's very similar as a take that I've seen footage of them singing, like from I think it might have been from the original Let It Be film, and they're singing it, and George's backing vocals are quite loud, you know, he's kind of belting a little bit, you can really hear him in there, and it's very similar to the version you hear on here. Don't get me wrong, I love the Let It Be Naked version. I think that was recorded during a rooftop concert, but this version where I could hear a bit more of the background vocals, I really enjoyed. I liked For You Blue, again, like George's vocal stylings on here are a little bit different. They're a bit more like interesting and a bit more like harmonising along with the song, and I really liked that. I liked the little medley. I don't think the medley was quite right to be as part of an album, however, I enjoyed their version of Save the Last Dance for Me and the version of Don't Let Me Down that's part of that medley. I've only heard Michael Bublé sing Save the Last Dance for Me, so to hear the Beatles sing it, even though it was like a very short snippet, it was really cool. And yeah, that version of Don't Let Me Down again sounded really interesting. It was really intriguing to hear this version of the album, especially as this is the one that, you know, this was going to be the album until like the very last minute where they decided, no, we're not going to do the Glyn Johns one, we're going to go in a different direction, we're going to rename the album and everything. But yeah, very interesting to finally come across this version. And then lastly, we have the Let It Be EP, which has got the Glyn Johns 1970 mix of Across the Universe and I Mean Mine, and then on the other side is the new mix of the original single version of Don't Let Me Down along with Let It Be. Oh my god, this version of Across the Universe is definitely one of my favourites. I think it's my second favourite after Anthology 3. Like, Anthology 3 just has some beautiful little like added little bits of instrumentation that make it sound like really psychedelic and cool. But this version sounds very similar to the Let It Be Naked version. However, there's like this Indian instrument that is like going on throughout the entire song that starts earlier on this version of the song, and it's probably a bit louder, and I definitely prefer that. I like that that instrumentation is there from the get-go, whereas in the Let It Be Naked version it shows up a bit later. But yeah, I thought this version was absolutely beautiful. John's voice is so clear, and it's in its original key, and I just think it was gorgeous. Yeah. It also actually has the background vocals from the Wildlife version, except again at the normal pitch, not like pitched up high. I wasn't expecting that, but that was really cool. It's honestly, again, I don't get sick of Across the Universe. I could have 10,000 different versions of the song and I'd be like, yes, I need more. So yeah, I'd definitely say my highlights were a few of the tracks on Get Back, this little EP, the book. I haven't fully read the book yet. I'm reading I Mean Mine by George at the moment. Once I read this, I will re-listen to the whole box set again, and I'm sure that the added context will make me appreciate the album even more than I already do. My absolute highlights of the box set were the new 2021 mix, of course, just because it just sounds so much better than the remasters. This little EP, side 4 of the sessions. I just pretty much liked everything on that side. Teddy Boy and I've Got a Feeling, as well as just the gorgeous packaging all around. Like, all of this is just absolutely stunning. Like, it looks so cool on my shelf, and I appreciate all the effort that has gone into making this box set. I really appreciate this. And it's so nice to finally have it after this whole crazy year of delays and everything. It's so nice to have the album, the book, and then the documentary that comes out next month. I'm just so happy that it's all coming together. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye guys.